Farmer Producer Organizations, Chapter 3, Part 7 Statutory Compliance Requirements, a vital pillar for producer companies. In the early years of farmer producer organization, as they quietly grew in the remote corners of Indian villages, a new and often confusing reality came into view. These companies, formed by farmers to sell their produce collectively, reduce costs, and increase bargaining power, were not only about farming, meeting, or marketing. They were also formal business entities under Indian law, and like any other registered company, they had to follow legal rules known as statutory compliances. For many farmer members and even directors, this concept of compliance initially felt distant and unnecessary. Why should they worry about legal forms and financial statements when their real work was in the fields? What did a document filed in a far-off government office have to do with their harvests, profit, or community needs? But with time, experience taught an important lesson. Compliance was not just paperwork, it was a path to being taken seriously in the world of finance, trade, and governance. By law, every producer company registered under the Companies Act must fulfill several responsibilities each year. These include conducting an annual general meeting, where members approve the company's accounts and elect or rotate directors. The company must then file an annual return, Form MGT 7, and audited financial statements, Form AOC 4, with the Register of Companies. Alongside, they must keep important statutory registers such as Register of Members, Register of Directors, and the Minute Book, and ensure the company's accounts are reviewed each year by a certified chartered accountant. However, putting these rules into practice was a struggle for many first-generation FPOs. According to a field report by NABARD in 2012, only 43% of operational producer companies were able to conduct their AGMs regularly and file return on time for 3 consecutive years. This was largely due to a lack of understanding among the farmer directors about the legal system, absence of trained CEOs or accountants, and the high cost involved in hiring professionals like company secretaries. The impact of missing these obligations was serious. If an FPO failed to file its return for 2 consecutive years, it was marked as a dormant company. Such FPOs would no longer be eligible for government support like equity grants, working capital schemes, or credit guarantees. Some had to pay heavy penalties. A few were even deregistered entirely, which meant all the work done by the farmers went to waste. On the other hand, those who followed the rules benefited greatly. In Andhra Pradesh, a group of 6 FPOs that maintained clean compliance records between 2008 and 11 became some of the first organizations to receive working capital loans under NABARD's Producer Organization Development Fund. Their compliance built trust with banks and buyers alike and helped them grow faster and with greater independence. In simple words, statutory compliances is like the backbone of a producer company. It gives the organization the legal strength it needs to function smoothly, protect itself from risks, and build relationship with the wider financial and governance ecosystem. A group of farmers without compliance is seen as informal, but one that follows rules is respected like any other company. To help bridge the gap, many FPOs and cluster-based business organizations began offering training sessions, creating compliance handbooks, and even pooling legal and accounting services for compliance. These small but effective steps have helped gradually spread awareness and build a culture of compliance through, though uneven, across India's growing FPO landscape. Before concluding, let us take a look at a typical annual compliance timeline for a producer company. The annual general meeting should be held within 6 months after the financial year ends. The annual return MGT7 must be filled within 60 days of holding the AGM. The financial statement AOC4 must be filed within 30 days of the AGM. The board of directors should meet at least 4 times a year. All statutory registers like members and directors' records should be maintained continuously. An annual audit of company's accounts should be completed before the AGM. In short, those who treat compliance seriously can turn their FPO into a trustworthy, transparent and sustainable enterprise. It is not just a legal exercise, it's a step towards the real empowerment. Thank you.